Yeah. Episode 14.
Yeah, 14.
The Dream Team. Episode 14. You know what I mean?
This is good. Already 14.
We're back.
All right, man. First of all, the reason my beard is looking so good, I used a beard oil today.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. This shit works, too.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's good, man.
It's,
You gonna give a plug here?
it's silky smooth. It's
You
like
need-
Scrappy Cocoa.
You need to go plug to
No,
it?
not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. The company's got to contact me.
Yeah. That's how it works.
That's how it goes,
You
brother.
scratch my back, I scratch yours.
Yeah, and there's a lot of back scratching to be done.
Mm-hmm.
All right, man.
Sure.
Take us through it.
So, the first thing that we have on the docket
Yeah.
today, just talking about the Fury and Wilder rematch is now it's happening for sure. February
Yes.
22nd. The venue will still be determined, but it looks like it's going to be in the U.S. It's going to be at probably Barclays, is what I've heard.
Okay.
Stuff. So I mean, great. Let's get this fight going. But having said that, before that happens, you have Deontay that has a fight with
Ortiz.
Luis Ortiz, in a rematch. So you can't overlook an opponent and then look to the bigger fight when Ortiz is a real live opponent. Look at their first fight and
Yeah.
look how close it was.
He got
And
rocked Wilder
Deontay
early.
was
Yep.
rocked, and he could have been taken out had Luis Ortiz landed one of those shots that he was throwing, and there were hard shots. And
Absolutely. And the thing, I'm actually surprised that they made a date already for the rematch
I know,
before
Before
having
this
these
fight.
fights. Yeah.
I know, and Fury will be fighting too, a yet to be known opponent.
That's
And
right. And I wonder who Fury's going to fight. You think it'll be Dillian White?
Dillian White's got a real tough fight with Oscar Rivas from Montreal via Colombia coming up in England on the 20th, actually. I'm sure it's 20th. So that's a Rivas he beat Brian Jennings.
Yeah.
Beat him good, man. Rivas is really good.
Yeah, he's good. I mean, Brian Jennings, I don't think he was ever as
He-
good as he was.
He was
hyped
better
up
than
to
a Chris
be.
Areola and like guys like that. He was a good heavyweight.
Yeah, but he completely folded against Klitschko.
Like
You
most.
remember that fight? It
like
was a
most
terrible
do.
fight. Yeah, absolutely. So let's see. So those, I mean, everybody, the odds are in favor of Wilder beating Ortiz again. And
Yeah.
when
In a perfect world, that's how it will happen.
yeah,
But that's the beauty of boxing. It's not a perfect world.
no, you could have a Ruiz Jr.
Yeah,
happen here.
Henry Ruiz
upset.
upset.
And that rematch is going to happen. I don't know if they decided on a time yet for that one, but that is absolutely going to happen.
Yeah,
Looks
that
like.
was inevitable.
Yeah, what's your pick on that? I know you don't like picking.
No, to be honest, like I could see almost the same result, and it could be the end of Joshua. Joshua's hanging by a thread right now, anyways, in the heavyweight division and the landscape.
Yeah, with the top guys. Now, I saw some footage. He's already training Ruiz,
Yeah.
and saw some footage of him doing the pads.
Oh yeah.
He's got
He's
speed,
good,
man.
man.
Holy
He does.
smokes.
He's very fast. He was a good amateur.
He's good. He is a real contender. Well, he's a world champ, but
Right.
he's a real
for
fighter,
sure,
man.
for sure.
I think he gives a lot of guys problems,
Mhm. Yeah.
including Wilder.
Yeah, because his one loss was it to Dimitrenko or one of the
No, he
Did you-
destroyed Dimitrenko. It was
Ukrainian.
No, it was what's his name? The guy from New Zealand, the heavyweight from
Oh,
New
of
Zealand,
course,
Parker.
Joseph Parker.
Parker.
Yes. Joseph
And I thought
Parker.
that fight could have gone. The decision could have gone either way.
That's what I was gonna say. That's what I was alluding to. That Ruiz really hasn't lost.
Not really.
So let's see. I think similar a similar outcome. It's possible, or Joshua can come back and be back in the picture, and Eddie Hearn's happy again.
Yeah.
This we'll see. This is a 50-50.
Yeah.
One thing, so just speaking about the Fury and Wilder rematch, and it's already been signed, because Tyson Fury actually he was in Bradford in England, and he was on a talk show, or it was on some question and answer period.
Who's that, Fury?
Fury,
Okay.
and that Fury announced it there, pretty much saying that it's already been signed. And then he also says, he says that Fury, I'm knocking the fuck out. This time I've been out of the ring for 3 years. This time I haven't been abusing too much alcohol. And this time I'm going to knock him the fuck out.
You know,
Tyson Fury.
he looked real good in that Rolls fight. And I know Rolls hadn't fought anybody at a high level like Fury had. But still, the way his...
Rolls.
Sorry, not
No.
Rolls. Who did he fight in his last fight? Fury.
Schwartz.
Schwartz, the
Tom
German.
Schwartz,
That's
yeah.
it. Sorry.
The German.
The German. He looked real good. He looked slick, smooth. His
Nice.
footwork was on par.
Yeah.
He's and he'll stay in shape right until that. I like it that he's got another fight before the rematch.
That's what it's
which will be
staying
in February.
active, right? Staying active.
Love it.
The thing is too, like when you're fighting consistently, you're getting sharper and sharper and sharp.
Yeah.
When you're just taking those long layouts after fights,
Yeah.
you don't being sharp fighting often. It keeps you sharp. I remember the amateurs, man, fighting a lot, so you're always sharp. You're always ready to fight. You're always ready to fight.
I love that. I love that in the pros. I want to see
Mhm.
more pros do that, but so many of these guys take the time off because they fight maybe twice a year.
That's it. Because when you reach the level of Mayweather's and things like that, your purse has become substantially bigger, so you have less of that hunger to fight again. Because you know when you fight, that's how you get paid.
Yeah, I know.
That's when you get that paycheck.
Yeah,
I remember in
it's a bit of a
Montreal
paradox.
when we fought pro there. When I fought pro, right when you step out of the ring after a fight, like the winner and stuff, they give you your check, and then it's like you
So
cash
weird.
your check at the casino right there because we're fighting in casino in
Right.
Montreal anyway.
And they want you to spend that
Yeah.
money put it back
I'm
into the casino.
I didn't go to the casino.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. I've seen people in the casino cash checks and go right out to the slots or the tables. It's
It's a
brutal.
disease for
It
addictive
is.
gambling.
Same part of the brain as gambling. Same part of the brain as alcohol,
Oh, yeah.
tobacco,
Yeah.
and sex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
So
addictive addiction.
yeah.
Yeah.
So at least the casino knows how to manipulate that. So I'm glad you walked right through the casino. It's like, you ever been to Disney World?
Yeah.
At the end of the ride, you got to leave the ride. You got
Yeah.
to walk through the store, the Disney store.
No, sorry, I've never been to.
Oh,
no,
okay.
I've never been
But
there.
that's what they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
So-
great. That's why, like, at casinos, they don't have clocks or anything, so you know what time it is. So you just keep playing. They keep it dark, so it's like,
You don't know if it's night or day in there.
Just
And
keep
it's a little
playing.
coolish, so you stay awake.
yeah,
And they're serving you drinks for free, at least in Vegas. And that's what
In
because
Vegas.
you're gonna gamble more
yeah,
stupidly.
yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah, they
That's
got
what-
it. It's a
why
science,
doesn't Canada adapt that? Like, come on, like,
I know we gotta pay for drinks. It's bull.
jeez, man, give them free drinks. Let them get inebriated a little bit, make bad decisions. That
Yeah, we'll have more money, more tax money.
these casinos won't go on strike and they won't close down. And
Yeah, and our roads will be better because of it.
Yeah.
That's the correlation. So what else we got, bro?
and just about that, you always
Yeah.
hear Tyson Fury talk about, I'm the lineal champion of the world. I'm the lineal. And what it means?
Yeah,
Okay, because we were all kind of on the fence. What's he talking about? Lineal champion.
Yeah.
It just sounds good to hear Tyson Fury talk. Is great at that. And is great at. Anyways, a lineal champion is a world championship title that was held by an undisputed champion undisputed is all the major belts.
That was like
and then
Klitschko.
subsequent, yeah, exactly. That's
Okay.
what. So because Tyson Fury defeated Vladimir Klitschko in Germany, a masterful boxing performance by him, and dethroned Klitschko, and Klitschko had all the belts. So he's the lineal champion.
Which basically means that he beat the guy that beat all the other guys that had all the other belts.
Right.
Which makes him really the best.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. I always wondered what lineal
Yeah,
meant.
because you always hear Fury talking about it, and I just wanted to bring clarification.
Yeah.
That's what we do on this podcast. We teach you the ins and the outs.
Yes, the
No
innies and
doubt.
outies.
Yeah, in and outie. Yeah.
All
so,
right.
Yeah, we have those fights. That's massive. That's great.
Yeah. I mean, the
Mhm.
heavyweight division is back pretty strong.
Mhm.
And you got these other guys at the fringe of it being elite, so they're
Mhm.
coming up as well. So
Yeah.
I'm excited. I think it's a pretty thick
This
division.
Oscar Rivas from Montreal, like I hope he beats Dylan White, because Dylan White's a solid fighter. If he beats Dylan White, he's gonna be in that right there too with those guys
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
getting a potential for a big fight. What if it's in Montreal, a heavyweight title fight?
Now, speaking of heavyweights, there's this unknown Russian champion, Romanov, I think his name is, and in the amateurs, he destroyed Wilder.
Oh yeah,
And he's been destroying guys since. He's in his 30s now. And yet, nobody knows about this
so
guy.
he's professional.
He's a pro, and he's beating everybody up in the pros over in Russia. Right? So,
he's got a good number of fights.
yeah, he's
or-
undefeated.
Yeah,
A
well,
solid
yeah.
number, but I've seen some of the fights, and the
Subpar-
guys look...
subpar opponents.
It looks that way, but
Yeah.
he looks real good. And
Is it like Ivan Drago type of?
no,
physique?
he's short.
I
he's-
think I saw the. Did he fight in the World Series of Boxing too?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But I'd love his name to come up, and I would. You know what we got to do? We got to, what's his name's Twitter account, Wilder,
Yeah.
and say, Wilder, why don't you fight the guy that beat you in the amateurs? He's still fighting.
Oh, gonna cause some.
Let's cause some.
Cause some ruckus.
Ooh, the two little guys from Toronto gonna cause some
Yeah,
ruckus.
We're those keyboard warriors.
But I think that would be an interesting backstory.
Remember that keyboard warrior, that guy that, I forget the guy's name, he'd always talk about Deontay Wilder.
What's that dude's name? I don't even want to
Crazy guy. Then they end up sparring when Fury was going to take his... If he hit him with one of those shots, it would his head would have taken... I give that guy credit, man. Like, he went
He's
in there
got
with
balls.
Wilder with no headgear, and Wilder's throwing, like, huge bombs, like, worse than what he does in the fight. So you know how he cocks him back? He's like,
Oh yeah,
this, and like,
he's even been beating them up outside the ring too.
yeah.
Yeah, I forget that.
Tommy's
No, what's his name? I'm glad we don't remember his name. 'Cause
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
not- he's a
Joe.
bit of
What a
dick.
joke. We always talk about boxers.
Yeah.
One time we had Floyd Mayweather Sr. in the ring,
And he cheap
and
shot
he cheap shotted him. And then Mayweather, and Mayweather's entourage, and one guy jumped out and said, you can't mess with those guys.
Yeah. That's pretty funny. That guy's got balls though.
Yeah. I was impressed with
But
that.
I think something's wrong with him. I think he's got a few screws.
yeah,
loose.
to be able
Yeah,
to want to do something like that,
Yeah,
that's
something's
nutty.
not right.
that's
Yeah.
naughty. So let's talk about the GGG Canelo fight. And the third fight, the trilogy, which we're all hoping it will happen in September on Mexican Independence Day.
Right.
Is this fight going to be made? There's the thing is, right, like this is the biggest fight in boxing,
Right.
and that these guys are not making that, they're not coming together. The promotional companies, DAZN,
DAZN, they're both
And-
under contract with DAZN. How
Right.
can this not happen?
well, the issue right now is Canelo not wanting to take the fight with GGG. Basically, that's what it is. Canelo right now is not agreeing, because Canelo has a lot of hatred towards GGG because of GGG one time referred to him as a cheater.
Yeah.
And because he is though, but you did cheat. Like it's not just him.
He had
I'm
steroids
saying it,
in
you're
his body.
saying it.
Yeah.
He has steroids in his body.
Yeah.
He says it was chaining meat, whatever the case may be. It's common over there in Mexico, and we know that. But and so is steroid use. It's
Yeah.
it can happen. Like people do it. People try to not say they did it, and so basically because Canelo feels bitter towards GGG and he's not willing to even accept the fight, and this is causing great conflict within the zone. And the thing is that the amount of money that they put into these fighters, GGG and Canelo, the contracts that these guys sign, if these guys don't fight, the network, that the zone, they're gonna lose so much money.
So that begs the question. I mean, if they're under contract with the zone, does the zone have any say in who they're going to fight? We know they have a say in how many fights because they sign on that.
The zone, sorry.
Yeah. So I mean, if I'm a businessman and I'm paying my employees a lot of dough to perform, I have to have a say in who they're gonna fight.
Okay, let's just backtrack a little bit and let's just give people let's just refresh them on what has occurred in terms of the contract amounts that these guys signed and stuff. And so De La Hoya, Canelo, and John Skipper, who is the zone's executive chairman, they've celebrated the 5-year 11 fight contract with the zone that Canelo signed for a possible $365 million. That's not guaranteed though. Like, he gets paid every fight, and if he loses, he's not going to make that much. That 365 is not a guaranteed fixed number. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I've read here, and that would only make sense because right? Because if you're not winning,
right,
why would they want you under contract?
Right.
You're not. It's like horse racing. The horse is not winning races. He's gotta go. He's gotta go.
Yeah, and he's got to keep the motivation too. If he wants to make that money, he's got to train hard. He can't just kind of coast and do 11 fights. I'll win some, I'll lose some, whatever. At least I make that. So no, that makes sense.
Yeah,
you can't coast.
Yeah. So John Skipper, he had to use this guy Len Blafnickis. He's the majority shareholder for the Zone Group. This guy's worth. I was looking at his worth and stuff. $17.4 billion. He's a Russian, Ukrainian.
Blacknick or something.
He's the guy that he operates the zone. He's the guy with all the money.
Right. I mean, this is all about getting subscribers.
That's what it's all about. At the end of the day, it's all about that because John Skipper and they're upset because they want their investment return.
Absolutely.
Like, they put in a lot of money. We need an ROI.
Yeah.
And they were the reason why they gave them these contracts because having knowing that these guys will fight again and they'll make a lot of money again and we're gonna get it.
Exactly. And they wouldn't have, they signed Canelo, what was it, maybe about a half year before signing Triple G.
Yeah.
So the only reason to sign Triple G, a 35-year-old fighter, is because you're going to make some good dough back, especially if he fights Canelo.
GGG signed a 3-year, 6-fight contract, 9-figure contract. So
it's major money. Yeah, I think at the end of the day, DAZN is going to push these guys together to fight.
Yeah, they have, and that's what Canelo and GGG both know, that the ball's in their court.
Yeah.
That, like, these guys, though, they have to make this fight, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's up to them right now. Like, it's up to, if Canelo doesn't want to fight, doesn't fight. I don't know what's going to happen with the contract, and I don't know. It's a mess. But that's what they're saying about this fight. That now it's come to that juncture in the road now where it can totally implode on them.
Well, I just hope it doesn't get litigious, like lawyers start getting involved.
Yeah.
Because then that fight ain't happening in September 14th.
For sure.
You're right. That's going to draw out. And then there's going to be, if they eventually fight, you're going to have a Triple G close to 40.
40-year-old old, like a couple years older, and Canelo's still in his prime, but it's going to lose the luster of the marketability of this third fight.
Yeah.
That would totally do that. It's not like Pacquiao and Mayweather, where they waited so many years to finally get in the ring. They made all that money.
Yeah.
And later on, if they did it prior, they wouldn't have made that kind of money. They made it.
Their timing was almost perfect.
It was
for making
them,
money.
From a business
for us, from the fan point of view, it should have happened
happy.
Years earlier. Yeah.
From a business standpoint, they were both made good decisions. We know Mayweather's smart about that, and very good, shrewd businessman, and all that.
Yeah.
So.
Oh man.
So
that's like a disaster if this doesn't happen for fight fans.
Yeah, well, it's been nearly a month since Golovkin's KO victory received Rolls, and still the Canelo and GGG third fight is still not even close to being negotiated and happening.
Right. It's amazing that they're the same promotion company and they're having so much difficulty making it happen.
Yeah, so the couple like some reasons why it's causing such a difficult thing to maneuver and negotiate. One is Golovkin doesn't want the fight to be in Vegas, and that's obviously Canelo, Golden Boy. They want it in Vegas, and then Alvarez doesn't want to fight Golovkin again, and not just September 14th. But doesn't want to fight him at all. And these are big.
That's the biggest stumbling. Yeah, that's the biggest stumbling block.
Not wanting to have it in Vegas. Who cares where it's at?
If you don't want to fight him, period.
You don't want to fight. He wants to instead look at other opponents right now, and other opponents that have been discussed. Have you heard about Sergey Kovalev?
Yeah.
And being a potential opponent at 175 at light heavyweight.
Right.
Canelo going up in weight.
Right.
To face Kovalev.
You think Canelo would fight some of these young bucks at 175, like Beterbiev or the Hammer or any of those dudes?
Stay away from Beterbiev.
No way.
No, because the thing is that
he just wants Kovalev because Kovalev's been beaten twice.
Yeah.
And he's got the belts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Kovalev's older and 36 years old, been stopped twice, not just lost. When you lose by knockout, or it takes more off your boxing life than a decision, or you lose a little bit of that you've been knocked out. You're getting to be damaged goods.
Yeah. It adds up.
Yeah. So, but then De La Hoya, it's also, De La Hoya,
Wow, you're popular.
De La Hoya, we have this group, it's like my mom, my niece, and the Manning Roaders, because that's where I'm from, Manning Road in Tecumseh, Manning Road. I used to run those roads, everyone would always see me running.
Yeah.
On the streets, like there's no houses, but you see this crazy guy running on the street.
It's awesome.
If a boxer has a long career and in professional and amateur, he would have ran around the world one time.
Really?
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah, that's the amount of running, man.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So what was De La Hoya saying?
So De La Hoya and Eric Gomez, have discussed the fight with Kovalev and Demetrius Andrade.
Yeah.
Andrade.
Yeah.
and Demetrius Andrade, and the other potential opponent is Jaime Munguia,
Yeah. Who has a belt?
who has a belt. Right. No, actually, but the thing is, Demetrius Andrade.
Yeah.
I always get that. Demetrius Andrade, he has a WBO belt, and that's the only belt that Canelo. Canelo doesn't have.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Does he want to fight him? Will he fight Andre?
well, they're saying like because he doesn't have that belt, that there's a more of attraction for that. Possibly, well, we don't know. These three opponents are in the air right now. Andrade,
Yeah.
Kovalev, Munguia, if it's not GGG. And then GGG has been rumored to fight Munguia if it doesn't work. So let's see what happens.
I kind of would like to see Triple G fight Munguia. Two big heavy hitters, man. But the only thing is
No way,
Munguia,
man.
maybe it's too soon for
Munguia
Munguia.
will
It's
not
too
have.
soon.
I even if he fights Canelo, is
Yeah.
this clear?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
good.
My
It's good.
eyes are.
That's not bad.
No,
Yeah.
Munguia,
Munguia's still
if he fights
young.
either one of them, he's gonna get destroyed. Munguia's not there. Munguia, look what his fight with
Brandon.
Takashi, that Japanese fighter.
Yeah.
That was a tough fight.
Tough fight.
Tough. Then in his
The
last
Australian
fight, yeah, Dennis. I have it right
You
here.
have it there. Yeah. What was his name?
Hoggins, yeah, Hogan.
Hogan. That's it.
Hogan. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, you could almost argue Hogan
I felt was
took it, or
Could've.
maybe a draw. Even.
could have taken it.
Yeah.
I mean, but Munguia looked very, very right to be picked.
Yeah, he's very. His defense is not tight enough against these heavy punchers and experienced
And
guys.
he's
at
all
elite level.
defense. So it's all offense.
Yeah, he's gotta learn. He's got a lot of growth, and he's young, man.
He is young. And defense wins championships.
Yeah.
It's not offense. Offense looks great. It does. Scoring touchdowns, scoring baskets. That looks great, but you got to be able to
Defense.
defend it.
Yeah, it keeps you in the game, and that's something. He's a young kid. What is he, 22 or something?
Yeah,
he can. He's got time to learn defense. He doesn't need to fight these elite fighters yet. It's like when Canelo fought Mayweather. It was too soon.
Yeah,
for
too
him.
soon. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah,
So-
and it could ruin your career too if you
Yeah.
fight too early. And if you fight somebody like GGG or somebody, he's like a career killer.
Yeah, absolutely. And now Andrade fought Selesky this
Yeah.
past weekend,
Yeah.
and it wasn't. It was
Lackluster.
mainly it was lackluster because he didn't throw a lot of punches, and he's very awkward a fighter, Andrade, and he's very defensively minded. I've
Yeah.
seen him in fights where he's more offensive.
Mhm.
Selesky's no slouch. Like technically, he's a
Yeah.
very sound
Yeah,
fighter.
Yeah.
But he knows how to take away somebody's strengths.
Yeah.
Now he's just got to add offense to it. But he didn't sell himself well
No, he
to
didn't
get a
sell
Canelo
himself.
fight
No,
or
no.
one of these other
No.
big names.
That's the thing. That's
Yeah.
the thing. He didn't sell himself. When you have an opportunity like that, you
Yeah.
have to capitalize, or you're an afterthought.
You should see this. You should watch the fight because I think you'll see what I'm talking about. He's got also a very wide stance. His legs are wide, and he
Yeah, he
moves
does.
very well.
Yeah.
And he's herky-jerky,
Yeah.
very awkward,
Yeah, he
very
is,
hard
yeah.
to predict what he's going to do next.
Yeah.
But for non-fight fans, he may not be their cup of tea
Yeah. Exactly.
right now.
Yeah.
But we'll give him a chance. We
Yeah.
can't judge him yet.
No, and see, another thing about that, the Canelo and GGG
Yeah.
fight, and if Canelo says I don't, like he continues with this, I don't want to fight. Okay, first of all, like stop being a baby, Canelo. Get in the ring with GGG and settle it because you know the first fight GGG won, and you did win the second fight. So let's do it again and let's see who's better.
Yeah. But what do you think his real hesitation is then? I mean, only he knows. He and his coaches know on not fighting a third fight.
His dislike for GGG for calling him a cheater, which a lot of us say you are anyways.
But that's the perfect thing, is get in the ring and beat
settle
up the
it.
guy that's calling you a cheater.
Because
I think it goes to more than that. I think it's...
You think so?
Yeah.
It's
risky. It's a risky fight. Maybe he doesn't want to take the risk.
I think that's it. And the thing is, too, but what that will do, if Canelo does turn it down, it could be a problematic precedent that he's setting now with his contract with DAZN.
Oh, boy, yeah.
Because DAZN wants this.
Yeah.
DAZN, that's their number one thing right now.
Yeah.
They didn't give the hand these guys these massive contracts so they don't fight each other. They have to.
All right, let's hope that happens. We'll keep our ears glued to it, because something's going to happen in the next. Now we're at July 7th. They need at least an 8-week camp. That means next week, from then on next week, that's 8 weeks for the fight.
Yeah.
So if they don't decide this, sign a contract this week, I don't know if the fight can happen on the 14th.
But they are saying this, is that they said that who said it, I forget, but if it doesn't happen in September, then 100% it will be the May 4th.
So then it's another
Cinco de Mayo.
It's another almost 9 months then.
But that's what I heard. I don't know. Let's see if it's not made now.
Okay.
Then if it has to be made then.
Okay, so they each have one more fight in them before May.
Possibly.
Okay.
But also DAZN doesn't want to give GGG another opponent like a Steve Rolls, an unknown opponent that he just easily beat, because they need viewership and they need subscription and they need caliber fights that HBO and those kind of station networks and stuff, they were the ones that agree on the fight, the last person to look and say, yes, we want this fight, or no, we want that fight, all for viewership.
Absolutely. So at 160, you got to balance risk, but you also got to get a name in there to fight Triple G, for example.
Yeah. Because he had his one that was like not really known, and now the network can afford to do one of those fights.
Hey, Charlo won in the weekend.
I was
not this past weekend.
I was asking before. Speak about that fight. You want to talk about that?
Yeah.
So I remember our last episode, I was calling it the Lions Den, but it's definitely not the Lions Den. It's Lions only. Both Charlo brothers and Jamal Charlo, he fought a couple weeks ago against Brandon Adams. In Houston, in his hometown. And there was a good crowd of 6,408 people. So that was a pretty good crowd for a boxing event in his hometown in Houston. And Jamal, he retained his WBC title, middleweight title, with a 120 to 108, 120, 108, 119, 109 unanimous decision over Brandon Adams. Brandon Adams falls to... was 21-3 with 12 KOs. Considerably shorter at 5'9", and Jamal being at 6 foot, and that was the difference right there for me. That jab and that keeping it, and just the levels.
So Brandon Adams, he won the Contender. He beat Mosley's kid in the Contender series, and he's kind of a little bit awkward, a little bit tricky, has experience. So he knew how to clench as well. I watched that fight, but when Charlo has you right at the end of his range,
that stick,
you're not going to win. You're not going to beat him.
good. He's a great fighter.
He is real
He's
good.
nice. I love watching the execution.
Telling me,
Such great execution.
absolutely. He
Um,
fights. He kind of reminds me like Earl Spence Jr. a little bit.
Yeah.
Very technical
Yeah.
and takes care of his home at the same time.
I would just I'll send you the picture, but it was a picture of all the world champions right now, and all these American fighters. A whole bunch of American fighters are all WBC, are all champions of boxing right now. And somebody commented, "Send this to Eddie Hearn over in England and show him all the most of the champions are coming from USA."
Yeah, yeah,
And so this what you know how like I was talking about what they say after the fight.
yeah.
So Jamal, he goes, "I ain't stop him. Y'all used to seeing that, but you know styles make matchups. I won that fight. No excuses, man." And he hurt his hand in that fight,
Yeah,
and that's what he's talking about there. Now.
Yeah.
No excuses, man. He's talking about that.
well, you can see in the fight he's focused mainly
Yeah.
on throwing his jabs.
Yeah, he hurt it early in the fight too.
Yeah,
And I give credit to a fighter that doesn't, or like an athlete that doesn't divulge your injury right away to
Yeah.
reporters. Oh yeah, I hurt my hand on my left knuckle right
Yeah.
here, and it was like
hurt my
it was-
big toe.
and
Remember
my
who that
nail, I
was?
broke it. Oh, my big toe, David Haig.
Right on.
My big toe. So he couldn't stand. Probably. Oh, my big toe.
Yeah, all right, man. That's why you're
Yeah.
getting clobbered.
And that what an excuse.
I love that.
Like, he went through the book of excuses. I don't even think baby toe's in there.
It was so bad.
I don't know.
You should have just taken it like a man
Yeah.
and said he lost to the better fighter.
Yeah. Just admit it. People
Yeah.
respect that more.
Exactly.
If I lost somebody, I'm going to be like, you know when you lost.
Yeah. Yeah.
And don't hide it now. I won that fight. I clearly won that fight. And when everyone knows you lost.
Yeah.
Like Adrian Broner. Remember Broner? Man, I won that fight. Yeah, they just trying to make that, that Mayweather, that rematch and
He's talking about the Pacquiao fight.
against Pacquiao.
I don't know.
Man, I won that fight.
That was so obvious how he lost that. That dude's got
Yeah.
one counter punch.
Yeah.
And that's his
Yeah.
right hook. That's
He's
it.
a one-punch
Or his
fighter.
left hook.
He used to be good
Yeah.
when Adrian the problem. Then he got the money and
Got the money, then
And
he'd
all
show
that,
up
and then
overweight, right? The
lost
guy would
that
say,
discipline.
okay,
lost
yeah,
that discipline.
yeah, got
Um,
distracted.
and
So,
So Charlo was just talking about his hand injury and happened early in the fight. I fought through it. That's what champions do. I fought through it. I jab a lot. That's what I do. I kept jabbing, Every time I jab, I bit down and it hurt. It hurted. He said hurted, not hurt. You gotta bite down. This is the sport of boxing, baby.
yeah, I know. I like him. I like him. I like the way he fights. I like the way both guys fight.
Yeah.
Now, there was another fight that night, too. That was the Raimundo Beltran and Comey. And I think that's a significant fight.
That was the night before. That was Friday night fight
Yeah.
on ESPN.
Yes.
And that was a really good. That was a good fight.
It was a barn... what are they
It
called?
was a barn burner,
Barn
but
burner.
Bertrand Beltran story
Beltran.
from Mexico.
Raimundo.
That's it for him. He shouldn't.
So...
Richard Coleman, man, like what? So they're talking about now. Lomachenko's got that fight with Luke Campbell,
and the
and
winner...
after that fight, it's gonna be
Comey. So
Comey.
that's why that fight was significant.
Right.
Because one of those two guys gets the winner of the Lomachenko-Campbell fight. Beltran, another 37-year-old or something,
Yeah.
38,
Yeah.
shop worn, been in some
Yeah.
real battles.
yeah, it has been.
Took a lot of punches in that,
Mm.
and he's good in his
Yeah.
experience.
No, very very well skilled,
And game,
great
man.
fighter.
But he got knocked out in the
Yeah.
8th round.
Yeah,
And
Got
Comey's
knocked
got
out.
freaking power, man.
he's got power and conditioning and just grit.
Grit.
And This guy don't even get tired, and
a bit of defense in there too.
he's good. But having said that, he lost to Robert Easter,
I know.
and that was a close fight. Actually, it was a close fight. But Robert Easter, I used to rate him a really great fighter, but not so much now.
No.
He's not up there, and
tall, rangy fighter, but I never liked his. I wasn't crazy about his technique.
No, I mean, and just like the hang with Broner and that, you kind of are what your environment is.
Yeah.
Too. Your people that you surround yourself with, that's the type of people.
Yeah, you end up, and if you're hanging out with guys that are winners, you've got a greater chance of winning.
Exactly.
Yeah, so but Comey, look, at the end of the day, he's been dominant in his last few fights, and that's what means more. That Robert Easter fights in the past, he's going to get a chance against the winner, Lomachenko and Campbell. We're going to assume it's Lomachenko. Campbell's a skilled guy, Olympian. I like the way this kid fights too. I like him a lot.
Yes, Luke Campbell isn't he a gold medalist?
Yeah,
he's a gold medalist from the London Olympics.
Yeah, and he's from this small town, like small part of England or smaller town of England. I forget the name of it.
But he was saying, so kind of like this really made me chuckle. And he was talking about how he's just a very boring guy. Like there's not much to him. Like he's not, like flashy or whatever. All he does is train. That's all he does. Like he's saying that he trains all the time. He's one of those guys. He's like, after I'm done, after I'm retired from boxing and everything, then I'll drink and I'll whatever, and then I'll be a funner guy. But right now, he's on a mission.
Well, that could be a dangerous opponent. But sometimes these guys, do you believe that you can overtrain?
Definitely can, but I don't think that's the case with these guys.
Okay.
It takes that to become that kind of athlete.
Right.
To become that caliber of.
Yeah.
It takes that.
Didn't Luke Campbell? Didn't he fight Linares?
Yes.
And he lost.
He lost to Linares.
It was a pretty good fight, though. But again, we can't measure it on that. But most likely, Lomachenko's going to win that fight.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Lomachenko, man.
Yeah. So, the Matrix, high tech.
Oh, man.
I think we should.
Beauty.
I think we should get into our "Did You Know" portion segment.
Yeah.
And then the Cooner's Corner segment.
Okay.
So what I wanted to talk about is, remember the movie Cinderella Man? I like doing the history stuff.
James J. Braddock.
Right. So the movie ends with him beating Max Baer. Right. He was a 6-1 underdog at that time. That was rated the greatest upset. But really, the greatest heavyweight upset is Douglas.
Tyson Douglas.
Right. That was 45-1.
Yeah.
Can you imagine how much money you would have made on that fight if you bet on Douglas?
But who was betting against Mike then? He was a freaking...
Nobody was.
Like a for sure bet.
Only Buster Douglas put money down on himself.
Buster Douglas, and the thing with him is like, look at the determination of the guy, and his mother just passed away while he was training for the Tyson fight. And you got a guy, look at the ends of the spectrum. A guy that's trained, like, has so much inspiration, and from his mother passing away, he's got a chance at the heavyweight title, to a guy that's already the top of the world, like, best heavyweight in this, but now he's partying. He's, like, sleeping with all these girls in Japan.
Yeah.
And one time he's coming down the elevator early in the morning. One of the managers saw him. He's coming back into the hotel like 6 in the morning. He's partying in Tokyo. Then he goes and fights a guy that's on a mission.
Just the stars, everything was aligned for Douglas.
Exactly, yeah.
Exactly. So,
and that long count didn't hurt him.
It didn't hurt either.
Yeah, that didn't hurt, man.
You're right.
Because that was like a 12 count.
Yeah, you're right.
You know?
Good point. So, what I wanted to talk about with the Did You Know was with Cinderella Man. So it ends with him beating Max Baer.
Right.
And then nobody really knows what happened with his career after that. And it's actually pretty interesting. So he lined up a fight. So at that time, he beat Max Baer. Joe Louis was then fighting Max Schmeling. So we're now in the 40s, right? And Joe Louis loses the first fight to Max Schmeling. Nobody predicted that. So now Max Schmeling is the next contender to fight Braddock. So they start to work on a contract, but then Joe Louis's, this is during World War II, right? So nobody put up a stink. They're not going to defend the German.
Yeah.
So Joe Louis's manager approached Braddock and his team and said, I'll tell you what, well, not only will we share the purse equally if you fight Joe Louis, but we'll give you 5% of Joe Louis's purses until he retires.
Right.
Right?
Yeah,
that was the deal.
Yeah.
James Braddock took it. His team took it. So they canceled the fight with Schmeling. Schmeling's pissed.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, he had also beaten Max Baer as well. So now Joe Louis fights James Braddock. Beats Braddock, becomes a champion. Joe Louis has 25. That record still stands today. The 25 title defenses that he wins.
Wow.
And that's the record that holds now. So that means James Braddock got 5% of 25 fights. And James Braddock, after losing to Joe Louis, only fought one more time.
Yeah.
Tommy, I can't remember the guy's name, but he went to England, fought him.
And
Burns? No.
Okay.
And then he retired after that. And that was the end of his boxing career. But he kept making money, and it just so happened from the guy that holds the record of most title defenses. So he was fine. He worked heavy machinery.
Yeah.
He ended up dying, James Braddock, in 1974.
Okay.
Max Schmeling fought for the title again against Joe Louis. Joe Louis cracked his ribs, his spine, fractured his vertebrae in the rematch, and just destroyed Schmeling, and the rest is history with that. But ironically, they became very good friends, Schmeling and Joe Louis, especially after they retired. Schmeling ended up representing Coca-Cola in Europe and made a great living. Yeah. And then when Joe Louis lost all his money, and Schmeling ended up paying for Joe Louis's funeral.
Yeah, because and didn't he owe a lot of money to? Joe Louis did.
Well, Joe Louis, and problem was every time he made money, he owed, and he also kept having to pay 5% to James Braddock as well. Right. So pretty cool story that most people don't know about. They only know up to the Max Baer
that's
fight.
Right, and that's a Cinderella Man.
You got
and
it.
Troy Ross and Mark Simmons were both.
They were in that,
in that movie.
Oh yeah,
too.
I was talking to Troy Ross about that movie. He said it was awesome doing that.
Yeah.
He was good in it too.
Yeah.
All right,
awesome.
Cooner's Corner.
Okay, and then we added this new segment, Cooner's Corner, and so just we're gonna give a little segue into it because I want to talk about Kal Yafai, and he's from Birmingham, England. And his record is 26-0, 15 knockouts. And he just fought
Israel Gonzalez.
This weekend. Israel Gonzalez, who was 23-2 and 12 KOs. And Yafai he's a WBA. He's a WBA champion. And this guy, Yafai was an Olympian in the 2008 Olympics. The 2010 European Championship silver medalist, and then he won this fight this weekend against Israel Gonzalez by scores of 119, 107, 118, 108, 117, 109. Over Norberto Jimenez.
Jimenez.
Yeah, Jimenez. Yeah, the J is silence. And then at the end of the fight, he complained of hand injuries and ear injuries to his eardrum. that feeling of getting hit here in your equilibrium will more the eardrum, and it just disrupts your whole balance.
Yeah.
And you're like, I can't imagine fighting the whole fight with a perforated eardrum. Your eardrums get knocked in those hard shots.
Yeah. Yeah.
But so anyways, so when I was turning professional, I got a it was 2006, and this was actually 2 years after. Well, a year. I was gonna turn pro in 2005. After the Olympics in Athens, I took a break from boxing because I was so burnt out and everything, and I'm like, I just need a break from boxing. But then I got back into it, and I went to England to turn pro with Hennessy Sports in England. And so, funny story about that, at the Commonwealth Games of 2002, I did fabulous in the Commonwealth Games, and I was knocking people up. People were raving about me, and Mick Hennessy from Hennessy Sports was sitting right near my cousins, and they were like, after one of my fights, they were talking to him, and he's like, make sure he calls me. So I called him after the Commonwealth Games, whatever. Then we set it up. I'm gonna go to England. I was gonna stay with my my aunt, and in Birmingham, and that's where Kali Afai was training too. He was younger
cool.
then, and me and him were training in the same gym in Birmingham. I used to walk down the street to go to the gym, and we used to train and everything. And it was great training and all this. So one week, prior to this one incident happening, I was gonna go to London, and that's where I was gonna be based out of London.
Yep.
And Hennessy Sports, they had a stable there in London. It's called the Lennox Lewis Center, and
okay.
I was gonna be staying there.
That's pretty
and
cool.
with the coach Robert McCracken, who's was Carl Froch's coach, with Anthony Joshua, was one of the best trainers
in England. Yeah.
in England. So I was going to train with him and then come back to Birmingham because he was from Birmingham too. And then come back and then go back during the week. Anyways, so then the Canadian the Canadian boxing team was in England it was a tournament or something. They were there. And I have obviously I have a bunch of friends on the Canadian team. Adam Trubush, who's my boy. We went to Olympus together in Athens. We're from the same city. So I wanted to go see him. Make a long story short, me and this one idiot guy there, Jason Douglas, this guy's like a big bully and whatever, and he just causes incident with me where he fought me and stuff, and then he ended up biting my ear, and then spit it out. It was cut and it was bleeding and everything, and I had to go to the hospital and all that. So to make a long story short, I had to go back to Windsor. I couldn't stay in England anymore because I wanted to go home and get treated and stuff. So I didn't turn pro then. But then I ended up going pro maybe about 6 months later. But this time I was based in Montreal with Yvonne Michel.
Yep.
And I was signed by them, and I would fight some fights in Montreal and some fights in England. And so that's how it went. And I was based out of Montreal, and I trained there. But this is just the story of did you know kind of thing, or Cooner's Corner. I had an opportunity that was pretty much taken away from me because of some freaking idiot.
So, yeah.
And then I ended up suing the Canadian Boxing Association for what happened to me and for me losing on this contract and stuff for an undisclosed amount.
What was that guy an amateur still that bit you?
Yeah, at that time he was.
And
he
was representing the Canadian team.
Yeah. So he was.
That's
he was
why you
representing.
had a right to.
He was representing the Canadian team, and he should have been on a leash, man. Because that guy should be on a leash.
So, do you think your pro career would have gone a little differently had you stayed with Hennessy?
Another thing is like, because when the contract that I was offered was really good, and it was really good. Like I should have been there training in London, getting paid really good, getting moved along very well, properly, not like rushed after 6 months later or a year later. Now I'm turning pro, but now I'm rushed because I'm a year later.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm not in England, where England the population of Indians and Sikhs and it's huge. So it could have been massive for me
You could have a
to
big
be
following.
there, to have
Yeah.
a following. Could have been
Damn.
like Prince Nassim.
Yeah.
But things happen for a reason, and I'm here today.
Yeah,
doing this
yeah.
podcast.
Right. Now you're successful
Yeah.
because you're doing this
It's a great
podcast.
success. I like it very much.
King of the castle. King
I like
of the
it very
castle.
much.
Oh, that's a good story though, dude.
Yeah.
All because of one ear bite, your path went another direction.
Yeah, totally. Like
That's
it was
messed
going
up.
this way and then bang, a curveball thrown like that.
Messed
And-
up.
But true fighters always come back. And from you get knocked down, you get back up, regardless of what it is. Like
Yeah.
I didn't just like get knocked. For sure, I did a little bit. I was knocked down from like not literally,
Figuratively, yeah.
but figuratively, and I took a backward step.
Yeah.
And I'm like, forget this. I gotta keep going, man.
Yeah, and it's
And
still not a bad move to go with, at least in Canada. Who else would you go with
Yeah.
except for
Yeah.
Shelley?
Well, I
right?
mean, England would have been.
that
It would have been.
the best.
It
But
would have been fabulous,
Yeah.
darling.
yeah, all right, man. Listen, that was good. We come to a close. The hour
come to a
always goes
close.
by fast.
Yeah. But
Um,
I enjoyed doing these.
That was good.
podcasts.
That was really good. Me too. I keep, man. I am excited about the Thurman Pacquiao. I'm amazed at how many people are picking Pacquiao.
A lot of
I
people
know
are.
we talked about that.
Yeah.
The reasons why. One reason
Yeah.
I forgot to mention was also because Pacquiao has been knocked out big
Yeah,
time,
Right.
and
yes.
like we said, the brain has memory of that.
And 40 years old brain.
Yeah.
A 40-year-old brain compared to a 29-year-old. And I've seen actually, because I have that new box now, and you got all the channels.
Yeah.
And I was watching ESPN, and it was Keith Thurman, and it was on Fox, I think, Fox. Keith Thurman and Pacquiao, and they were discussing. It was like kind of like a face-off, kind of like that.
like HBO used to do.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
so cool, man, to hear their perspective, and especially Pacquiao, like, yeah, he's good fighter, but he underestimated me because I am champion, and
Yeah.
he just,
But I don't think that Thurman and his team is underestimating Pacquiao. I really don't think that he's being underestimated, and that's why he's training so hard. And now he's doing weights and conditioning.
No, I
and
don't-
strength
I
stuff
totally
that he
don't
never did
think-
before.
I told you, how do you underestimate a
Yeah.
Hall of Fame guy, eight
Exactly.
weight class world champion, that's never been done. He's an icon. He's a legend in the sport.
And he's got a pop in his left hand. He still has
He's
top
still-
power.
Look at his body, how they're showing him now compared to like 2003 and stuff when he was just young, and he's same body type.
Yeah, it's
Like
amazing.
he's just ripped like Bruce Lee.
He's yeah.
Yeah.
All right, brother.
So
Take us out.
okay, we're gonna have to end this with. Yeah. This is the end. Check out the shirt. The greatest.
Yeah. That's a great
Muhammad
shirt.
Ali.
Standing over Sonny Liston.
This is a great
Looking like a
picture, eh?
piston. Yeah, it's a great shirt.
I like that one. I like
Yeah,
that.
except it's total white wrap.
All right, till next time, y'all.
All right, brothers.